Hi, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
And we are Working Class Nerds.
We're the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is July 5th, 2018. You can find this awesome podcast on Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and even Buzzsprout.
Today, we're going to discuss the current state of SWTOR and particularly its PvP. Today's guest is a fellow podcaster and Twitch streamer. He's a co-host on the Council SWTOR and Passionately Casual podcast. Welcome, Sechari. Thanks for coming on the show. And what have you been up to?
Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey guys, no, I appreciate you inviting me on. What you don't know is now that you've had me on, your ratings are going to tank. You guys are going to be in the toilet now. So I should have put that in the fine, the fine print. So
in the contract.
Yeah, exactly. Apologies beforehand. You're done. So
you better call your agent.
You gotta follow.
Yeah. Well, you can't get much less than 0 ratings. So I think we'll be okay.
Dude, have you seen the council? I mean, like, seriously.
Yeah. What's 0 plus 0?
It's like, oh, yes, it's like the Jerry Springer's, it's end of stuff now. So I don't know. Oh, my goodness. What have I been up to? Not playing SWTOR. Is that a fair thing for me to say to start with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For almost all the episodes of this podcast.
2.5 years of me begging you to start playing.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I'm a lot like the rest of the community, I guess. I'm waiting for 5.9.2, and I've been reading all at least what's out there on it and what's been announced. And I've played the game to the point where I'm kind of in that lull, between stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I've been playing Subnautica. It's a game I discovered. I don't know if you guys know much about it.
We do.
Fantastic.
Dent, a former guest, he was playing it this one weekend. He said he played, 48 hours in 3 days or something ridiculous.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, dude, that thing is so addictive. Do you guys know much about it? Or have you spoken about it on the shows that your audience knows?
Yeah, you can give a rundown if you want.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make it real quick. So the idea is that you're on the ship one day and suddenly you're in a life pod and your ship explodes and you find yourself on this alien water world. And it's a survival game, so you have to pretty much, make sure that you're eating and drinking and staying alive and breathing oxygen, which I guess is important. But the rest of it is all underwater exploration and finding the resources you need to create like a base and stay away from some of the gargantuan, awful fish that are out there, like the leviathans. And there are like these ridiculously awful, terrible places to go in the game that you have to go to get stuff that you need to finish the stinking game. So it's like, it's ridiculous. It's the scariest game I have ever played. I'm regularly like freaking out.
Yeah. Wait, so it's actually a scary game?
It can be.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, okay. So, have you seen some of our fish here on Earth?
Yeah.
Like they can be terrifying. Imagine like an alien world where you have no idea what you're dealing with.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of them can be giant and kill you.
Yes, I mean, like, there's this one that, like, sneaks up behind you and it just grabs you with these gigantic pinchers that just, and it roars. I mean, some of the sound it's the music in that game that makes it just terrible. So, yeah, that's what I've been.
So if you, I guess what I'm going to ask is, so if you shut off the sound, would it be as scary?
Probably not. Yeah, no, I'd say it wouldn't be. But I mean, come on, play with the sound. That's the experience,
Yes, of course.
But
how many hours do you have in it?
Oh, so I'm kind of dragging my feet a little bit. I could probably make some more. I know where I need to go and what I need to do to like dig deeper. Right now, I'm probably like at maybe 26 or something hours.
Wow,
cumulative. Yeah, I mean
that's
amazing.
That's in 2 weeks.
That's a good.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I'd say so.
That's a lot of time.
You don't think it's going to be. It's like I find myself at work thinking about it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go accomplish these 3 things, and then I get online. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stream this. So I turn on Twitch, everything's going, and then I only do like 1.5 of it because I'm so scared to do like the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, so I'm taking my time going through it.
You have to go into the Leviathan zone to scavenge materials, and you don't want to go down there for very long and stuff like that.
Because you know what's waiting for you. Yeah. Absolutely.
So do you now when you're playing the game, so in order to get to what you need to do, you just go deeper into the ocean.
Yeah,
essentially that's how it progresses.
Yeah, the whole place is organized into these biomes, right? So it's like you have this area, and there's certain things that grow in that area, and certain fish or types of predators that are in that area, and they do certain things. And you need to gather metals. I mean, it's a typical survival strategy type of thing. Gather your resources. But then you have to move between the biomes to do all of this. And the further you go out from the center of this area, and you're like in this big volcanic crater. So it's kind of everything underneath you there's a lot of volcanic activity, which is kind of scary on its own. The further out you go, the more terrifying it gets. And also the deeper you go, there's a lot of caves and things that you can explore. The deeper you go, it gets crazy. So
I don't think I can handle this game.
No, I watched somebody stream it and play it. That's how I know about it, but I don't think I could play it myself. I don't like the ocean in real life. And if I had to like actually go dive in like a submersible or, in your wetsuit or whatever, that would be awful.
Maybe that's how we're so much like family. Cause it's going to sound crazy. I'm deathly afraid of jellyfish. Like if I see a jellyfish, I run out of the water like a girl. It could be this little dinky quarter-sized jellyfish, and I'm not going back in the water. So anything to do with the ocean, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I've never gone deep sea fishing, because I'm always afraid Jaws is going to eat the boat.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you'll definitely experience all of those fears playing this.
Maybe I'll watch some of your stream, but live. I just got a message from Brian from the Bad Feeling podcast. Dude, you didn't tell me you got married. Congratulations.
Wait, oh yeah, I did. Fairly recently, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Guys. Yeah. Is that what, did Brian tell you that?
Yes.
Wow.
This just did.
I didn't know that he knew. Okay.
Well, I told him you were coming on the show, and he said, hey, make sure you wish him congratulations for his wedding.
See, now he didn't warn you about your tanking ratings, though. So I mean, come on.
Well, no, he'll probably try to boost it up, because he says our show is better than theirs, and our ratings are going to get better than his. So.
You got to have the Chuck voice. You have to have somebody who can do the bass.
No, they're great.
I got to smoke a lot more cigarettes.
Yeah, you're gonna drink a lot more as well. Like just kind of chase it.
I can't do it. I don't have that voice.
I don't either.
No,
I don't think I'd have to do some serious damage or alterations to my
turn the bass up on the board.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, so what else have you been doing?
So there's that. Like I said, just kind of chilling, living life. I got kids for the summer. That kind of slows me down when that happens. You know how it is. They're off school, so because they're off school, I find myself spending a lot more time with them and stuff. So I've been kind of playing when I can. I check in on SWTOR right now, but like I said, I'm just waiting for the new stuff to hit. And there's talk about a PTS getting turned on at some point, and all of the stuff going to be there, and we will get to experience some of this. I think they really want to test some of the PvP stuff before they make it happen, like in production in live. So we'll see. I don't know what the time frame is on that, but I'm excited to jump on.
And I definitely want to dive into that in a little bit.
Sweet.
Awesome. So Nick, what you been doing?
Well, not a whole lot in real life stuff, but in video game news, I finally finished my class story. Woo!
Very nice.
So that's a big.
Wait, so did you kill Darth Barris?
Yes, 100%. Of course.
Was it enjoyable?
Yeah. You see, I'm like so desensitized to violence, so like I noticed it's all throughout SWTOR. There's not a lot of like actual graphic violence, like you don't like chop somebody's head off and see it or anything like that. You know what I mean? Just kind of stab them. So like, yeah, it was awesome that I got to kill him. But I found the whole scenario just a little anticlimactic. You get like recognized as the Wrath, and that's kind of like it's kind of it. And it's just like, okay, here, and now do these other, extension missions. Get going to Ilium, basically.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was great. It was a good wrap up. You finally are done with that, and now you're just your own badass.
Yes,
which is cool.
And what do you think of Malavai Quinn?
That thing was that was stupid. I thought that was stupid, especially because like so I could see if you got betrayed because you did the light side stuff all the time. Light side is the right side.
Yes,
and
it is. Light side all the way.
That wasn't my words. I was quoting you.
All right.
But so I could see if like a light side Sith gets betrayed by Malachi, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me that like I was going with the Empire the whole time, like everything for the Empire, and I never took him on any like quests or anything as my companion, and I still had like a 10 like ranking, almost as much as Jaisa and Vet, the two that I companions that I actually took out to do stuff with. So he like betrayed me and then like immediately backtracked afterwards after I like messed up the droids that he tried to kill me with. And now it's just like awkward because I just like pick all the negative options whenever I get them now. So I thought like maybe they could have done something a little different with that if you actually stayed with the
if you
the
saw
dark
him
side.
again, would you kill him?
If I had
betraying?
well, he's still on my ship and stuff.
Okay, so you forgave him, is what you're saying.
I think I did. Yeah, I must have forgiven him. Because I'm assuming from you two's reactions that you can banish him and never have to see him again.
Yes.
Oh, so
you don't get to kill him, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
So as you play the game, there may be an opportunity where you see him and you have a choice to maybe kill him or maybe not.
Okay.
Fuck that.
How resentful are you is really the question we're trying to ask.
Yes.
Yeah. I would probably kill him.
Yes.
I don't know how I ended up forgiving him. I must have just clicked the wrong thing and was clicking too fast. But
maybe it was 11:30 and you were just exhausted.
Yeah, I was. I think I was just trying to finish the quest or something like that.
That.
Yeah. So there's that. We're looking forward to getting going on the expansion stories, starting with the Ilium quest and stuff like that.
Ziost is really cool. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then McCab was awesome.
I just want to soak it all in. Take up everything.
Yes.
But that's pretty much it for me. Marcus, what have you been up to?
Well, the Death Star Troopers on Sunday night, we went and did Explosive Conflict, which was super smooth, blasted right through it. And then I was like, oh, let's go see my homegirl Brontes in Dread Fortress because I love that op and I love her voice. Something about her voice is just, I don't know. I love it. So it's something about it. I don't know.
ASMR.
It's dripping. It's dripping with a kind of it's like a backslap. You know, when you hear it, she's so condescending.
Yes,
I think is what it is.
Yeah, and I love it. You know, she has too many hands and fingers, but you know, we take those down, and then she goes down. But in the process, I love it. So, and I didn't think we would finish it, but we ended up finishing that out too. I think we ran, 15 minutes past, but it was nice. It was a ton of CXP, and we had a lot of fun. On Fun Feeling Mondays with the holiday, a lot of people are on vacation. We just ended up doing some a Flashpoint, Cayenne Under Siege, which, have you ever played the game Left 4 Dead? It's a
little bit.
Valve game that zombie. Scar, you ever play it?
It's like that's the one where you have like a group of 4 people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like an old man with a bat.
Yeah. And just random other characters.
I think a girl and 2 other guys.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Scar, you ever play it?
Yeah, I'm marginally familiar with it.
Okay.
That's kind of how I am too.
Yeah, so this Flashpoint, I never did it before. Not a big Flashpoint guy.
Yeah.
It was basically like zombie hordes.
Right.
It was just, there was this one part where there was just hordes and hordes and hordes of zombies coming and you just slay them.
Huh.
They're like, Imperial troopers or some kind of trooper that just turns evil.
Oh.
And they turn into zombies and you kill them.
Huh.
So that was really fun. And then we started to do another one, but I can't remember what the name of it was.
I forgot.
Describe it. Maybe I can help you out.
Oh, there you go.
So it's the one where I can't even describe it to you. It's not Assault on Tython, but it's like that where you're going after Jedi. I'll have to Google it. I'll have to come back to that.
If I might interject, I forgot something
that
I wanted to note about the story. So I started the Ilium stuff, and you come across Malgus, and I don't know if I missed something as to like his introduction.
Did you do the False Emperor Flashpoint?
No, I probably should. I don't know if I should be doing that Flashpoint in between the Ilium and End of Class story.
End of Class story, you should do the False Emperor right away.
Okay.
It's a long Flashpoint, and probably take you an hour.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So definitely, because what all of Ilum does is it leads you up to the Battle of Ilum Flashpoint back to back with False Emperor, and that kind of caps that expansion story.
Okay.
Malgus is your point of contact for all the Flashpoints.
Right.
So when you go type in the computer, there's Malgus, and he's going to tell you what to do.
Right.
He's the greatest character ever in the game.
Yeah, no kidding.
We should bring him back, BioWare. He should be back.
You guys should have him as a guest on your show. Sorry.
I wish.
I'm trying to improve your ratings, guys. Come on.
That'd be awesome.
It would be awesome. I wish I knew the voice actor. I would ask him.
Yeah,
why not?
Sure. We could just write a crappy script and have him just like
Make him
talk
say
about
a line.
some.
No, just have him be on the show as Darth Malgus.
That's what I mean.
And
He's
give him
gotta
his
have
story.
some lines.
Yeah, no, he's just got to talk about what he's done since he got frozen in carbonite.
Oh,
What's been going on in his head, and we have him unfrozen at our house.
we have a
Bioware, come get
we
him.
have a
He's
giant
ready.
unthawing our oven.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
I'm sorry.
Your
So,
rundown.
so if on Monday nights, with the Bad Feeling Guild, I do Fun Feeling Mondays. Everybody's welcome. You can message me on Twitter at MarcusB814, and we run 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And, we try to do group content and some fun stuff just to kind of have a great night. And the goal is to have 16 people. We've done it a few times because there's not many people that I know of that are running 16-man ops. So that's our goal, is to be able to do that. The last 16 men we did Terror from Beyond, and I never did it with 16 people, and it was wild.
Is that the one I was a part of?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I got to play some ops.
Yeah.
Well, I just got to get my shit together.
Yes, you do. So with the Wednesday night sup team, we didn't run because it was the 4th of July, and we were all drinking beer.
That's a fair excuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I did drink some really yummy beer. It was good. I got to hang out with the family, which I don't get to do. I worked in the morning still, and then next week I'm on vacation, so I'll be sitting on the beach with my fam. Well, I guess I won't be sitting because the 2-year-old will be running everywhere, and my wife will be screaming at me, "Don't let her near the water." Honestly, next week I am not playing Star Wars. I'm just going to Minecraft. That's it.
That's mega lame. Oh, down in Rhode Island?
Yeah. I'm going to Rhode Island. I am not going to play Star Wars because I'm going to want to do ops, but I don't want to do it. I'm going to take a real vacation, and I'm going to play the shit out of Minecraft. I'm going to dig until I can't dig anymore. I want to find out what's in the center of Minecraft world.
Is there like a story to it?
I haven't found out.
You just exploring.
It just starts in it's like a 20-minute cycle, so it's 10 minutes of daylight, 10 minutes of night.
Okay.
And if you're outside at night, these blockhead zombies kill you.
Yeah, the little green thing guys, creepers or whatever they're called.
Yeah. It's essentially a sandbox, sandbox as it can be, but there are things that you can do. Like there is apparently a dragon somewhere in the game that you can go find, something like that. But you have to you decide you're going to go there and figure out what you need to do to get there.
Right.
Yeah, they say that if you're going to go there, you need to be the most experienced player. And I'm still using a stone axe, and I still haven't found coal. I still can't figure out how to find coal. I've been looking for it.
You got to probably go dig really, really, really deep if I had to guess.
Well, you got to go to a cave, but every time I go to a cave, I get killed by some zombie because I don't craft a sword.
Oh, yeah.
I'm terrible at this game. It's just terrible.
You need a sword, and I think you need torches, too, to keep stuff from
But
spawning.
you need the coal to light a torch.
Oh, so yeah, you need a sword first, basically.
Yeah.
But you might, I don't know if you need
to make a wood one.
Yeah, well, I make it, and then I use it 3 times, and it breaks. It's like I'm back at Fallout 3 when I threw the controller. Because
your gun broke?
Yeah. I zoomed in on the guy's head, and I'm like, well, if I'm hitting the guy in the head with a wooden stick, I'm going to kill the guy.
Yeah.
And I hit him 3 times, and I missed all 3, and then the guy killed me. And I'm like, this is the dumbest game I've ever played. Why would anybody do this?
You just got to suck less. Take the Mysterious Stranger perk. That helps a lot, too.
Or, alternatively, make more 11-year-old friends.
That's true.
So the funny part is on the airplane when I was coming back from Disney, was this kid was sitting 2 seats over from me, and he was watching me, and he's like, "No, you already have stone. Change the wooden pickaxe and put stone on it." And I'm like, "Wow, that's a great call." And then he's like, "You got to go over here." He's like, "You can't be outside at night." And I was like, "I don't know how to make a door." "Well, you can craft a door. You just need 2 oak planks and this." And I'm like, wow, this kid. And then I just shut it off because I was completely embarrassed that this kid was telling me how to do it.
Shut up, kid.
Exactly.
That's great.
So if this all sounds fun and not Minecraft because it's not really a guild thing, that's just a Marcus stupid thing that Nick thinks is ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah. Why can't I play a real game, right? But if this all sounds fun, we'd like you to get your tune over onto the Starforge server and go to aie-guild.org. We're a guild that's cross games everywhere. They play almost everything. We'd love to have you. And if you go to the website, fill out an app, and you can get our Discord info. You can get one of the officers to get you in the guild and come have fun with me or Nick.
Yeah, I play too.
Yes.
Although I don't do group content all that often.
But if somebody came in and just started tagging along with you and making fun of you while
I'm trying to do the story expansion, like, God damn it, let's go to a flashpoint.
Yes.
11-year-old kid.
Yeah,
Get off my
exactly.
You got to make a lightsaber.
It's like, yeah, like, why are you using that for your rotation? Why don't you use this and this move first?
Exactly. So today in big news, in SWTOR news, I should say, Passionately Casual podcast somehow, some way buttered up to Bioware and Eric Musco and got a exclusive screenshot of the new Rishi Stronghold. So it's just a picture of some nice water. Google it, Nick, and you can see it.
Okay. I definitely will at the break.
You can, it's got a nice picture of the water and the nice trees. Curious to see how it is. And they said that there's going to be PvP elements in it.
In the Stronghold?
In the Stronghold. So I'll be able to create my own PvP map and then have a PvP party where you don't have to deal with all the negative people playing PvP.
That's
and now it's just your friends, and the bragging rights are never going to be higher.
That's cool. So
because you're going to have to live with it forever.
So you can make your own PvP arena.
Correct.
Sweet.
I don't really know much details on that. They've talked about it, but
right.
I'm assuming that that's how it's going to be.
Cool.
What do you think, Sechari?
Yeah, no, that sounds about good to me. I mean, I know about as much as you do, so.
All right, so
yeah.
with the Strongholds, though, so I have them all. I haven't decorated them all. I have them.
How many are there?
I don't know, 7, 6.
You have 7 or 6
but I don't go to them. Yeah, I don't.
You stay at your one in Narshada.
Yeah, because it's a city.
Right.
And it's beautiful and perfect. Yeah.
I can tell which one's your favorite.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I understand why they made Strongholds, but I don't really use it the way some people do, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't get enjoyment out of decorating an apartment.
Yeah. Well, same thing with real life, I guess. Just throw some posters up and call it a day.
But that's different. That's what my wife does. I don't have to decorate anything.
Oh, right.
I get my office and she tells me there's too much Star Wars stuff on the walls.
That's why you need to let her decorate for you. There you go.
Ew.
Not the office.
No.
The rest of the house.
The rest of the office. Not the office. Because, she'll go out and buy like a Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader holding flowers instead of lightsabers. You know what I mean? That's what she would do to me. And she'd be like, oh, you told me to do it. Or it would end up looking like the rest of my house.
Right.
And says gather and like stuff like that.
So if you let her decorate your stronghold, you'll end up with like Darth Malgus holding flowers.
Yes. Well, if they had that, I would probably buy that.
Items from Home Goods somehow.
Yeah, she would somehow put it into the game. She'd message somebody from Bioware and say, how do we get Home Goods items into the game?
Don't you think this throw pillow is just so fabulous?
Yeah, exactly.
So they talked about the Season 9 ranked rewards. On Tuesday, we did a bunch of PvP. I'd like to try the ranked. The rewards are better, and I guess people are more mean if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the rewards are better, so why shouldn't I play only ranked?
Yeah, I mean, and you're going to play ranked, like super duper low ranked to begin with anyway, right? So relatively forgivable.
I don't really understand what ranked is in comparison.
I think I can help you out.
All right.
So the idea is that there should be a lot of people playing ranked. It shouldn't be like an elite tier where only the best people play. I think that's how it's gotten, and it's not really what was intended. But it should be to where everybody's playing ranked, or a lot of people are playing ranked. And what it does is the better you are, the higher you climb in level. Compared to if you're suck and terrible like I am, you'll be, and then what it does is it creates teams and puts you in with people that are about your level of skill. So you're more or less just kind of playing, and in the end, yes, you get ranked. That's the idea. Is that you're somewhere on that ladder of worst at the bottom to best at the top. That's why when they offer the rewards, they can say, okay, for the top 96, we're going to give you this because they were able to climb to the top of the ranked ladder. That's the idea behind ranked.
Well, that's understandable. So why don't they just get rid of regular and just make everybody ranked?
I think regular could be a spot for people to, I don't know, try out their strategies and stuff like that before they start being ranked. For example, like if you have absolutely no clue what you're doing, and Ted or I don't know, whoever you're playing with that knows how to play PvP,
Which he does.
Yeah, it's showing you like, okay, you want to use this rotation instead of that. Okay, see how you screwed that up? Do this next time instead. So then you actually have something to go off of. And by the time you get into ranked and you're doing, I don't know if SWTOR has this too, but like in Siege for their ranked online play, they have placement matches. I think Overwatch does too. So you have to play 10 and then you get ranked into one of the sort of the categories. So
you want to have 10 ranked matches and then they place you where they think you should be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I have to try it because I don't really know, because if I can get better rewards to play it, I'd much rather play with people that are better than me so I get better.
Right. But I think it's the theory is they don't want you to play with people that are so far better than you that you get annihilated in like a second.
I get annihilated anyway.
That's okay. Yeah.
I'm a marauder.
Why not?
There's no,
when you got nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
Well, what I noticed is everybody play. If you're a merc or a sork, you just have your god bubbles. I've almost killed like 5 mercs, and all of a sudden this bubble goes around them, and they're immune to my hit.
Huh.
And then they heal themselves, and then they're back to full health, and I'm
At, like,
half health, and I'm just gonna die now.
Oh,
because the marauder doesn't have anything to protect himself.
Right. I don't think a juggernaut does either, unless you're like a tank.
Well, I think as a juggernaut, you can play as a tank.
Yeah, I can switch to a tank.
Yeah, and then just wear DPS gear.
I think so.
I don't know, but I think they changed that.
I'm not sure how that works at all.
Do you play PvP?
I do. The downside with ranked is that it's only 4-on-4.
Oh, so there's no 8v8.
Yeah, it's only arenas. And I mean, if you like arenas, then you're good to go. But that's why it's so much smaller and it's so much more intimate, and people can yell at you more. It's because you have 3 people on your team kind of yelling at the guy who doesn't know how to heal or doesn't know how to tank or whatever.
I understand that. Do you like Hutball?
I do like Hutball. I've noticed that Hutball is one of those things that people either really love or they hate.
I think it's fun.
I've never played.
You would love it.
Hutball is the bomb.
Yeah.
No, hold on. That's Void Star. Yeah, Hutball's great.
What did you say, Nick?
What is Hutball? Like, I'm assuming it's some kind of like ball.
Sechari, you could probably explain it better than I can.
Yeah, okay. So there's a pedestal in the middle of a match arena, kind of like I don't know. Think of soccer in a sense.
Okay.
What you're supposed to do is, but the ball always spawns in the middle, and you have to go out there, and your team has to work to get it and to run it into the enemy's end zone.
Okay.
But there are like walkways and a lot of obstacles, and there's like acid pits and fire and stuff that you basically get cooked. People, it's really cool. Like if you have a tank with a decent pull, they can pull you into those acid pits or whatever else, and you just fry.
Huh.
There's a lot of cool. Yeah, Hutball is people either really love it or they really hate it. So be forewarned. But yeah,
it sounds like, what was that old like 80s TV show that they brought back in like the early 2000s? It was like American Gladiator or something like that, and you had people like shooting the Nerf cannons at you and stuff.
Yes.
It's kind of sounds like a mix of that and Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, because I played it with Ted and it was fun. Ted doesn't like it, but I thought it's just a change of pace.
Yeah.
And as a marauder, I don't grab the ball. I just try to kill as many people as I can, protecting the guy, you know?
Well, see, Hutball becomes a lot more fun when you have a team that's actually working as a team. If you don't work as a team and everybody's just in it for kills, it's going to suck all around because the other team just annihilates you. But if you're like getting ahead of the ball carrier so that the ball guy has somebody to pass it to when he's in trouble, and if you have somebody waiting at mid for the new ball to spawn whenever somebody scores and they're able to fight for it and pick it up, when you have a team that is at least playing for the objectives and playing as a team to win, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So they released all the rewards, and then Eric Musco said, we're going to be changing the rewards. I guess there was an outcry on what the rewards are. I feel like no matter what anybody does, somebody's always complaining about something. Like I read the rewards. Now, I don't know what anybody else has ever gotten. I think they're pretty good. You're getting some cool stuff. But again, I don't know what they've done before that.
Right.
To say, hey, these are, for all I know, they've given these same rewards,
Forever
10 years in a row.
Yeah.
Or 6 years in a row.
Have you guys ever seen that, like on Ben on Fleet, and you see someone running around with that like neon rancor mount?
Yes, I have.
That I believe was a reward from one of the past seasons, and if you worked your butt off and earned that in ranked, I think I can see the argument why somebody would be like, okay, I don't want anyone else running around with that because it kind of dilutes. If there's more of it out there, it's not as special as it was when I worked for it and earned it.
Sure,
I can understand that. I just think, they can only make so many awesome one of a kind things.
Right.
Yeah, I think like a neon skin or something like or retexture or whatever you want to call it on like a existing mount would be.
Or
relatively...
every other year do a different kind of mount with a different color.
Yeah.
Well, Bioware has said that, okay, we realize what that means to you, that you don't want everybody to have this, so we're going to make it ridiculously expensive. So even though they're going to bring some of those old rewards back, they're going to make it so that, you can earn it, but you really have to earn it, so it still stays rare.
Right.
I really want that Bronte's mount, and I don't think I could ever do it in Nightmare.
You get a Bronte's mount from
so like her tentacles that stick up in like it's called Wings of the Architect. If you Google it, you'll see it. Mm-hmm. It's the coolest mount ever, but you have to do the hardest content and ops in order to get it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and
that thing is a total status symbol, and
yes.
It deserves to be because it's hard to earn.
Whoa, well, it's like a jetpack.
Yeah, and
that's wicked cool.
Exactly.
Wow.
It makes you want it, right?
Absolutely.
So when somebody's flying around with it, you're like, man, that guy's good.
Yeah, that guy does not fuck around.
Exactly, at all. And, I was talking to my raid team, the Death Star Trooper guys, and I was like, oh, we should do Dread Fortress in hard mode. Yeah. And that's not even the hardest content. And they're like, it's so hard. We won't even get past the first boss. And I'm like, man.
Really?
Because I just really want that Wings of Architect. And it's not like I can buy it on the GTN for 500 million credits or anything like that. It's just not available.
Yeah.
Once you get it, it's yours. That's it. And I don't think anybody would ever sell it if they got it.
Yeah, because you can only get it the one time, right?
No, I think it binds on pickup. Whoever gets it, and that's the end of it.
And then it probably only drops one in the
you might have to beat it more than one time.
Exactly. So your team has to beat it 8 times, assuming you were the team, right? That does it repeatedly.
Oof.
No, the only way to get that thing, there is only one way to get that thing, and that's to make your ops team where you know who your tanks are, you know who your DPS is, you know who your healers are, and you gear up, get everybody geared, and then you start on the hard mode and you work at it until you beat every one of them. Then you go to Nightmare. And you work at it till you beat every one of them. And after weeks of working, you finally get there. Then you've earned it. Then you got to do that 7 more times so that everyone else can get it.
Right. And if you're trying to work towards that, you need to be doing that 2 times a week, at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for hours and like no interruptions. Because I mean, some of the late night streamers, I don't know if you've seen them, like doing some of this ridiculous content, are out there and they just stream for hours working on this stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So yeah. 11:30, 12 o'clock Eastern, I'm out cold.
Yeah.
That's like the end of my road. Because 5:30 a.m. comes early.
Yeah. I can't not sleep. I have to get up. Not quite 5:30, but.
Yeah, that's parenthood for you, though.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm having another one. Number 2 comes in October.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so life's about to get crazy. So the only other thing was today, I guess they said that the PTS is coming.
Sweet.
It's coming for all the PvP changes. I did the PTS for Gods from the Machine. I think we can say that. And that was great. It just gives you an opportunity to see something new. But I'm really curious to see where PvP goes.
And you have to... sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I want to see where it goes.
For a PTS for SWTOR here, I've done the PTS for like Overwatch is just open and anybody can play it. But your progress doesn't save in the PTS, obviously. So like if you rank up in the PTS server, it doesn't carry over to the regular one.
Yep.
But it sounds like you have to apply to the PTS for SWTOR, or at least you did for the Gods of the Machine one.
That one was private.
Yeah, they
Because
do
it's
have
gonna be content.
they do have closed PTS sessions where you've got to be invited or get yourself invited, however you get in there. But it's a closed session and you're under NDA, so you can't really talk about it because they still want to keep. They want to have people test it, but they still want to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, so people can't figure out.
Basically, we can say yes. We're in the there is a PTS and we're on the PTS, but that's all you can say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right. Now, this one that's coming, though, I think this is going to be an open PTS.
Correct.
So anybody can transfer. Anybody can go play with it. And I think the idea is to have as many people as they can get in there, touching this content, or at least the changes for PvP, because that allows them to really give it a good. And I think they need to with the kind of sweeping changes that are coming to PvP. I think this is something you want to test before you just run it into the main servers and something explodes.
That's why I hope that they just release the PvP changes and they don't put the stronghold in, because my thought is everybody is going to just want to do the stronghold, set it up with some decorations, and then fight their friends.
Right.
And try that, because that is so intriguing, or at least to me.
Right.
That
people are going to ignore the regular PvP stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that just play PvP.
I can see how that'd be fun.
Oh, it's I can see if I played it more, I could see myself getting into it.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of one thing that's nice about the game is it doesn't have comms. So you don't have the 12-year-old Xbox kid screaming in your ear that you're terrible.
Right.
They're just typing it in the left-hand corner, and then you just click the PvP chat off, and nobody's saying nothing to you now. What do you care?
Right.
You know? But, hey, you want to take a break?
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
So today, as we talked earlier about a bunch of PvP, I'm going to touch a little bit more on it and the changes that are coming. But also, I want to talk about the current state of SWTOR. And I want to get Sechari's. There's a guy on one of the podcasts. He calls it the tinfoil hat. And he uses it all the time, so I'm going to steal it from him. I think his name's Mox or JT. I'm not sure.
It's JT, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm going to steal his tinfoil hat, but I want to know where Sechari's head is, what's coming in the game. So first and foremost, I want to get Nick, you're new to the game, so I'm really eager to hear your opinion on this.
Okay.
What do you think the current state of SWTOR is right now as a new player?
Well, obviously it's a little older game, so there's a ton of content for me, because as a new player, so it's like 6 or 7 years old now, and I have so much to get through, and you can play all these expansions and stuff like that with all 8 classes, and I'm assuming they'll be like a little different, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting for me, but I can sort of see how it's like a dwindling-ish in the content section for players who've been playing like the whole time or at the end game for a long time. But they're still fun to run all the ops and like the harder difficulties and stuff like that. And the PvP changes are cool. So although it seems like it's in its waning years, I guess I would say that it's cool that there's still content for the game and new stuff for people to experience to keep it fresh for people.
But for you have an endless amount of content.
Oh, yeah. For me, it's like
brand new.
I'm a kid in a candy shop, You guys are only in the malted milk ball section, and they keep adding different flavors of malted milk balls to keep the analogy. But for me, I can try everything because everything's new,
Sure. And it's just finding the time.
Right. It's a time thing for sure.
What do you think, Sachari?
What do I think about
the current state of the game?
The current state of the game. Okay, so I have the almost opposite. Because, Nick, you're new to this, and so you're kind of experiencing this deluge of content. There's so much out there. For me, I've played all of it numerous times.
Right.
I'm at the stage now where for instance, this is why I can sit back and go play something else, because I'm in a lull right now, and I'm waiting for something new to happen. And and when these PvP changes come out, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to hit it real hard and enjoy the tweaks.
Right.
Oh, that you can actually take a tank into PvP and they're in tank gear and they're valid now. Whereas when you're new, you don't think that way. You just think, hey, let me jump in here with a character, see if that works. Okay, right. DPS seems to be where this is worth playing. But when you've played all the DPS and you kind of want to make a tank work in PvP and that doesn't work, then that's kind of where you want to go. And they need to make those changes to open that up to you to where that's something new that you can do.
Right.
Sure. I think the lull is painful. I look at the game as a business, and I think about my business and how I market myself and do all that, even if a lot of my work comes from word of mouth. And I feel like no news isn't good news in this kind of case. If you owe the IRS money and you don't hear from them, hey, that's good news, because you know what?
Yeah,
maybe you don't owe them money.
Yeah,
you're getting your tax return.
Maybe you're not getting things repoed yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in this, I feel like when they're silent for so long, it makes people think the game isn't going to survive.
Right.
And I'm such a positive guy where up until today, we haven't heard anything from them significant about anything. Really, they were on actually Sechari's show, The Passionately Casual, and they did an interview, and they don't give any details about anything.
Right.
They just kind of duck and cover, and I think that's such a terrible business move. Tell us something. Say, I promise you're going to have a sweet lightsaber, and you're going to be able to have a purple emanating with pink. You know, the purple core with the pink outside.
Right.
Something. Give people something.
So I think where you run aground with them, because I've hung out with Eric Musco a bit, right? And I've learned about him that he is kind of cloak and dagger on that kind of stuff, because he doesn't want to say, yeah, you're going to have a I don't know, whatever you were saying, pink purple lightsaber, and then promise that, and then the next thing you know, they can't deliver or they have to delay because they've committed to doing this now, and everyone's gotten all excited about it. Right. But if they don't deliver, or they don't deliver when they said they would, then everybody's all angry at them. And so I think a lot of it's kind of preemptive damage control he's trying to do but I get your point, though. I mean, you have to be careful and yet still provide information, because if you don't feed the crowd, they're going to go on and find somebody who is going to give them that. Right. We don't want that happening to our game. So,
well, exactly. I'm not asking for dates. I'm not even asking for something specific, but send a picture. Say, tell us that, they have stuff written. Even there's got to be some content right now that's done. Tell us that Kira is coming back for the Jedi Knight. Just say it. Or Lord Scourge. Just say, hey, Lord Scourge is coming. And it'll create buzz. Yeah, and it'll make people excited. Silence isn't good, in my opinion.
Yeah, you could send like a picture of a stack of papers that are the script for some new story content.
Yeah, even if
it doesn't say anything, but like, boom, for going to the first stages of editing for new story content, no hard date for when this is going to be out, but we're working on it.
And drop a boomba.
Yeah,
people are excited.
Yeah.
That's it. And, that's the hardest part for me.
Right. Let me pose you guys a question. Do you think that that in these times of silence where they aren't sharing stuff, we're so desperate for news, for some kind of breaking something, that is an incentive for data miners to go looking for stuff?
Maybe.
Yeah. You mean like within the code of the game and stuff like that?
Yeah. They reverse engineer the game, try to get pictures, try to get sound files, anything they can that to hint at, because they're rolling content out beforehand, because they don't want you to download this huge thing on the day. They want you to be able to download less. So they're constantly leaking this new stuff over to our clients.
Right. So I get you're asking, like, are they not saying stuff to encourage people to do that and sort of generate buzz by mining the data and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's just my own theory, and I just want to see what you guys think of it. But I definitely think that it incentivizes people to go looking for the breaking news. Oh, we want to find out something. We need to know something about this game. What's coming out? What are you guys planning? And so they go looking for it. They reverse engineer stuff that they can and get, hey, it looks like there's this sound. Ooh, we found this Lord Scourge sound file in the client.
New.
And and he hasn't said anything, and this is something that's not in his sound file. So this is obviously from. There's a lot of speculation in it, right? And that's where the data miners run aground, is because we're all speculating. Oh, this has to be from this future thing, and that must mean that this is the direction. And if we're wrong, we've created all these expectations that turn out not to be the case.
Right.
But how hard is it just to say Lord Scourge is coming? A simple tweet.
Yeah, and then the data miner. See, my thoughts are, give a little tease like that. Hey, Lord Scourge is coming. I don't know the character's actually.
When you do the Jedi Knight, you'll know.
Okay. Or, this story, in my example, this story's coming out, no info on it. Then the people can go mine the data and, reverse engineer the game and see, then they can speculate where, hey, maybe it has to do with this, or it has to do with that, or, whatever. They can dig for more details on it before it comes out. But I don't think, sort of to answer your question more directly, I don't think their silence is good, is like sort of on purpose to get people to go looking for it in like the data of the game. I don't think that's a good way to do it. I think if you tease a little something and then let people go looking for extra details, that's a good way to drum up, discussion and more intrigue into the game. But I think being silent about it and just keeping it extra sort of mystified, I don't know if that works quite as well, because I think people get really frustrated, like Marcus, for example.
Yeah, and for me, I don't think they want people data mining.
Yeah.
I don't.
Agreed, yeah.
So because I think it ruins the surprise. Where if they would just say something, if they said more, I'm sure people still would data mine.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give an example of data mining. So in our guild, one of the guildies found the repetition in the algorithms in the back end, whatever it is, to find the crafting weeks for the new conquest system. So he figured out exact weeks that it's going to be crafting weeks.
Oh.
So now they can start stockpiling their crafting materials for those weeks. So then when the crafting week happens, they can put up big numbers, and it makes it easy for them to hit their conquest goals.
Okay, yeah.
Going with that, they don't want people to data mine, because then what if there's a problem, as Sechari was saying earlier, if they come out with Lord Scourge, but there's a problem with the actor and they put it in there, but then he doesn't come. Now people are pissed off that it was data mined, but now it's not happening.
Right.
Because we found out that there was going to be a Rishi stronghold months ago through data mining, and they didn't confirm it until, a month after it was data mined.
Right.
So it's all speculation. So I think data mining's dumb. Just tell us.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I agree. I think that especially if somebody blows a secret because they data mined it, clear it up immediately so that you don't have expectations building based on speculation. I think is definitely one strategy.
I love the game so much. I just think it's bad business to not tell people stuff.
Yeah.
Silence isn't good in this kind of sense.
I think
when your game is 6 years old, tell us about it. Say, hey guys, we're working on Anthem. Our resources are going to that game, because if that game does well, SWTOR stays around for another 5 years.
Right.
And I understand all those things because I understand that part of the business.
Right.
One does good, everybody does good.
Right.
My business does good. The electricians, plumbers, and floor guys, they get to work.
Right.
And they do good.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of that steamroll effect. But the no content or no news is
frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would make the analogy, to keep it within your, scope of practice, so to speak. If a contractor or a carpenter says, okay, I can get to your house in the fall, and now fall's coming, it's September, it's middle of September, you're like, oh, gee, when is he going to get here? And there's no communication. Although he might be getting there or, going to be calling you next week, you might start to look at other bids because of the lack of communication, because it's frustrating to not have any information about what's going to happen. Similarly here, if you have some kind of update or just communication as to what's coming out, you can be more patient with, okay, there's not going to be content for a while, but at least I know for sure that it's being worked on or whatever, if that makes sense.
It does a lot.
So, Marcus, it sounds to me like you are less than satisfied with the whole roadmap idea. It's supposed to be every 3 months. They're like, hey, for the next 3 months, this is what we have on the boiler. And it doesn't sound like it's doing enough for you.
So I loved the episode of the Console SWTOR when you guys talked about that. And there was a poll on Twitter about what did you think of the summer roadmap? Who cares? Loved it. Mm-hmm. And one of them always makes me laugh because it makes me think Redna clicks it. What's a roadmap? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it makes me laugh every time. But I like the roadmap because it's detailed. But I want most people. So this is something that I just found out. 2% of the SWTOR population does operations. right? 2%. So what is the other 98% is doing what? So you have your PvP. What's the percentage of PvP? Most people want to play a Star Wars game for story content.
Right, like me, for example.
Well,
That's my
you're new
primary
to it.
goal anyway.
Well,
yeah.
you're new because you want to see all of the content.
Right.
So even a seasoned veteran, we'll call it, like Sechari, who's waiting for the next piece of content, and even if he didn't PvP, and you can confirm this, Sechari, you're going to do it because that's the new content.
Right. Absolutely.
Because you've done everything else. You probably have 50 tunes, and you've done every class story, 3 or 4 times to see the different paths. But the biggest thing for me is tell us something. So there's no PvP, and that rolls us right into my next question on 6.0 expansion. What do we think we're going to get? And do you think they've actually started working on it?
Well, I think they definitely will have had to, be working on it for sure. If they're working on 5.9.2, I think is the next one coming out. Yeah, I think that rolls into 6.0-ish, right?
Well, they mentioned that there can be a 5.9, 5.10, 5.11, 5.12 infinite until they're ready for 6.0.
Okay. Then I guess I don't have enough information to speculate properly.
Okay. Sachari?
All right. Okay, so how much? So, Nick, I want to respect you here because I know that you're just now making your way through this. You're new to it. You're excited about it.
Yes.
There's a lot in this new stuff that you're coming to. Like, how much do you know of the expansions ahead? Just super ballpark.
But like what as far as story content goes?
Yes.
I watched the trailer for I think it was Knights of the Eternal Throne, the newest one, whatever. So I know like the trailer. I know what's the dad's name or whatever.
Valkorion.
Valkorion.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's some. He takes over. I don't really know a whole lot. I can take the headphones off for like 5 minutes if you guys want to talk about it.
Well, no, we're not. But that's the nice part about the expansion is it has nothing to do with our story currently.
Class story, right?
So Knights of the Eternal Throne ended your class story. So all of the content from beginning of the game to the end of the Knights of the Eternal Throne, that part is over. It's starting fresh.
So
Yes.
when you get
there, it's going to be a whole new story.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be getting back to their roots. I'll say this. I have to speak in generalities because I don't really want to ruin stuff for Nick.
Okay.
I mean, I want to respect you because, man, you've got such a great journey in front of you, and it's phenomenal. And, like, hearing all of the excitement and the passion is something I want to keep.
Yeah. Yes. And it took me 2.5 years to get him to do it. And he sent me a picture to his girlfriend. This is a side note. So he sent me a picture, but it was intended to send to his girlfriend of Darth Revan and Malgus. And I was like, why the fuck are you sending me this?
I know who these people are.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, I was intended to send it to my girlfriend. I was like, why the fuck would you send that to your girlfriend? He's like, because I want her to know what I'm excited about.
Yeah. So I was like, the context was, see, my girlfriend's name's Mariana, her last name starts with a B. So Marcus' last name starts with a B too. So the context looks similar next to each other. Just hit it quick. And I was sending her pictures I was complaining about how like unimpressive Darth Barris looks. I was like, I got this bitch ass master for a Sith Lord. Like, look at all these badass Sith Lords that I could have had. Like Malgus.
And I got the fat dude with an attitude.
Exactly. Like, and he just thinks he's hot shit. I could definitely kick his ass like halfway through the story content. The class story. Like, what the fuck? Because I was like complaining about it, trying to get my girlfriend to like, know what the hell I'm talking about. It's like, here, this is like the examples. You've got Vader, you've got, the Emperor's also badass from, the actual movies. And then within the SWTOR universe, Revan, Malgus. So I was sending her pictures and I accidentally sent it to Marcus instead of her. So I got him involved in the conversation.
But that's how I know he's excited about it. Because when you start getting involved in that, that's when you know you're excited for a game.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, when you're researching stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah,
you're looking on the wiki and you're in the, yeah, absolutely. It's researching the lore and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I want to know a lot more about Revan because I know the rough plot of KOTOR, but I didn't actually play all of KOTOR.
You want the entire story of Revan? Well, okay, comic books notwithstanding, because there's a ton in the comics and stuff.
Okay.
But play KOTOR 1, play KOTOR 2, because that gives you some historical perspective.
Okay.
And read the book Revan by Drew Karpyshyn, because that is the story that catches you up from KOTOR 2 to the beginning of SWTOR.
Okay.
And then play the Jedi Knight storyline.
And you get more Revan information?
And that's like, it's all one continuous story.
Okay. Okay.
I will say, though, I've tried to play KOTOR again.
It's hard.
It's really hard to play.
I really tried to play like
The
with
graphics.
an open mind.
I wish somebody, and I know there was somebody trying to redo it, but it was never going to happen. It's kind of like those people that are trying to remake The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And they have that crazy petition. It's ridiculous. I wish there was some way for them to do a remastered.
Or even just like an HD skin.
Well, that's what I'm saying, a
retexture or whatever.
remastered version.
Yeah.
And just bring the graphics to HD, because it's like playing Mass Effect 1. It's so hard to play the game because the graphics are so dated.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I played Mass Effect 1 when I did, because I played it when 2 was out. And even then they felt really dated, and that was hard for me to wrap my head around. I got through it and it was fine. But yeah, so KOTOR, going back even further, it's even bigger of a jump and harder to play because of that.
It's unbelievable, the game.
I know.
But it's really hard for me to play graphically. And I guess I'm just spoiled.
Yeah. What were we talking about? 6.0? We went off on quite the tangent here.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to talk about story stuff, I can take the headphones off for a minute or two.
We're good, man. It's perfect. So back to the original question is, do you think they're working on 6.0, or do you think they're on such a skeleton crew, they're telling us it's coming, and they're giving us their PvP changes? Wow, those kids are
thrashing over
thrashing.
Yeah, that's my mic. They're setting some fireworks off.
Aha.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Sorry about your sound.
No,
Told
way,
you about
we
your
love
tanky
it.
ratings.
No way. Fireworks, it's America. We're going to, hashtag America. We're going to get more ratings just because there's fireworks involved.
Nice. Yeah.
Maybe we're going to, that's a perfect episode, Fireworks with Sechari. Or Sachari's fireworks.
Or, if we ever get webcams, we could do live streaming Roman candle fights.
Roman candle fights.
Or I like to call it real life wizard dueling.
Yeah.
Set myself on fire, basically, is what it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
I set my tent on fire once, but we won't. That's for another topic of another day.
Okay.
So do you guys think they're on a skeleton crew because of Anthem? We know that. But do you think they've actually started working on 6.0? Or do you think they're just giving us the PvP changes and they're going to give us a little bit of content for the rest of the year? And then next April, May, June, December, we'll get the expansion.
Okay, so if I was to and understand, this is just my guess. I have no idea. There's the fireworks, the cannons in the background. So I think what they're doing right now is definitely writing. They've got some writing going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually they always do that months and months in advance, so I'm sure that's getting handled. Man, that stuff is distracting. But they'll do the writing, and then I think that determines what all they need to do from there, right? What characters they now have in this writing determines what voice actors they need. So they do that. They get all the sound files. They do all the studio work for that. What kind of world designs, where it goes. So I think we're probably. I'm willing to bet everything's long since written, and we're kind of in those middle stages somewhere, doing the vocal recording, doing the I bet you we're in production right now.
When do you think we're going to get it?
Probably, my guess is probably not this year. Although I always like for them to, my preference is when they release something in October, November, and then have some time to fix whatever major bugs happen, exploits or whatever there is before everybody takes off on Christmas. Yeah, that's good, because also around that time is the anniversary of SWTOR as well, and it's Life Day. It's a good time to breathe new life into it. Everyone's getting out for their winter break. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got time to spend in the game as opposed to going to school all the time. So it's a really good time. But if it doesn't work there, you see it slip into the next year. And I'm willing to bet probably like March or April is when I would guess.
Yeah, I would say so. I really expected this year to get another DVL event. So the Dark versus Light event they did last year.
It was like Snowball Fight, right?
No. basically they came out with this ridiculous challenge that you do all 8 class stories over the summer.
Whoa.
Every flashpoint in the game, something to get the legendary status. It was insane. It was basically to make you do the entire the entire game in 2 months.
How the hell could you do that?
People did it.
I bet
They did it. I don't know how, but they did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I got 2 tunes to level 50 and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, how long is it? I don't know. I've been playing for like 2 months and I only did 1 class story, but I'm like also enjoying it a little bit.
I was just going to say, some of these people that did that have done the class story over and over and they just can
spacebar everything.
Yeah. Spacebar and run right through it.
That's true. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So my speculation is that I know they're doing the voice acting because Charles Boyd has said that they've brought the actors, they've been bringing actors in.
That's cool.
But I don't foresee 6.0 coming until, like you said, April, May, and June. And honestly, maybe it won't even be until the fall of 2019. But in the process, I think they need to push out some story content.
Like flashpoints or something?
Something.
Smaller.
Yeah. Something needs to come.
Right.
Because people aren't going to just keep playing PvP.
Yeah. And or the existing ops.
Well, right.
Oh yeah, that's only 2% anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm just trying to fill the need for story because everybody has it.
Yeah.
I haven't finished all my class stories, but I love the new content. I have 1 or 2 tunes that I do the whole story with. And the new content, and then I have the other ones that I'm working through the class story to enjoy them, all at the same time. So, wow, let me take off my tinfoil hat. That was great.
That was great.
Thanks, Sechari, for coming on,
guys. It was fantastic to hang out with you. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, come back anytime.
Absolutely, it'll be great.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.